Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Power Hour podcast. This is your NXT Power Hour for this week. As you may already know, we've done a lot of content this week. My name is Jordan, and that is Luke over there. And yeah, as I said, we have done a lot of content. We've done a SummerSlam Power Hour. We've done an NXT Takeover Power Hour video, which is currently our best performing video on the channel. So go and check that one out. There must be something special about it. Maybe it's because that's the one that Luke edited. Maybe it is.
Magic.
But yeah, we're still pretty new at this. As I said before in previous videos, if you are someone who's been watching our videos, we cover NXT and AEW every week, as well as WWE pay-per-views. We, of course, reacted to CM Punk's return to wrestling last week. And we look forward to reacting to All Out this weekend at some point. And you'll probably get that video next week. But for now, let's get into what happened on the latest episode of NXT, because I've had a very busy time, so I haven't been able to watch this entire episode. But I know that you did, right, Luke?
I did, yes.
So tell me, what did we get on NXT this week?
Oh, we kicked off with a very fun match. We had Timothy Thatcher with Tommaso Ciampa versus Ridge Holland with Pete Dunne, and they just beat the ever-loving shit out of each other, and it was good. Love a bit of Timothy Thatcher. And Ridge Holland looks awesome.
Yes.
He looks fantastic. I love that Pete Dunne's got a proper stable. It's awesome. Yeah. And we also saw the return of Danny Burch. So all four, the original three and Holland are looking pretty dope. It's other than Oney Lorcan, it's a British stable, which is awesome. Yeah, maybe they can steal.
And also, it's a stable that just generally makes sense, right? Like even with Oney Lorcan, it just makes sense.
They click straight away. They work so well. They do a promo a bit later, and it's literally one guy after the other talking, but it just works. I really like it. I really think this is going to lead to Pete Dunne finally taking that title, which would be awesome. They could be a replacement for Undisputed Era in a way.
For sure. I mean, we'll get to Pete Dunne a little bit more later on, I think.
Before the match, we had Ted DiBiase and Cameron Grimes coming out and celebrating, doing their thing. I still think Ted DiBiase is a bit awkward in these situations, but it was fun.
I don't think he meshes with Cameron Grimes that well. Like it works well enough, but something just doesn't quite click.
I just don't think he's that good at talking anymore. I think he's lost a lot of, because he's out of practice, so it's going to happen. He has got better over the weeks he's been doing this, but it seems like he's done now. But who knows? We'll see. But yeah, this match was a hard-hitting, awesome.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one.
Alex said that. Thatcher looked fantastic because he is fantastic. Ridge Holland
looks like an animal, right?
Yeah, he looks like a monster. He's going to be awesome. The back and forth here was wonderful. They did a very good job of letting Thatcher show his technical hard-hitting side, as well as letting Ridge Holland show off his strength and some of his technical side as well, because he is actually a good wrestler as well.
For sure.
And Holland picked up the win, and yeah, just very good. This broke out into a brawl a little bit, where the brawl was very back and forth. At one point, Holland and those guys seemed to be on top, and then Ciampa turned it around, just beating the crap out of them, and then Danny Burch came back and they took out Thatcher, who is out indefinitely apparently.
It's always nice. A good little storyline injury is always nice.
It can be useful as all hell. After that, did anything come out here? We had a short interview between Indy Hartwell and Dexter Lumis, and this is just fun.
Yeah,
it's just fun. And then I don't know if this was straight after, but we also got Gargano demanding that William Regal cancel the wedding and the interactions between Gargano and Regal are awesome.
Yeah.
They're so fun. At first, for a good while, I wasn't a big fan of the heel stuff that Gargano was doing because it wasn't clicking well.
Okay, yeah.
But recently, it's been really fun, and they're about to turn him face.
I think it's weird, right? Because he's finding it. He's finding
it as they turn him face.
Yeah,
because he's as we'll get to. But the next match was Kaden Carter and I'm gonna try not to butcher her name, Casey Catanzaro. Pretty sure that's how you say it.
Catanzaro, yeah.
Versus Gigi Dunne and JC Jane.
So I turned off a bit in this match. I'm not gonna lie. I was a bit like, okay, the match is going on, but I'm not really paying full attention.
Yeah, so it's always a tricky one with women's tag team matches because you're never really given too much to pay attention to. Not as the matches aren't good, because this was a good match.
Yeah.
Just overall, they just don't feel like they matter because the tag titles only
there's
pop
no
up
consequence, right? There's
no, and like Catanzaro and Carter they're angling for a tag team title match. But we haven't seen the tag team titles in weeks, so
why do they matter?
That being said, like I said, this was a very good match. Once again, both teams got to show off all their individual abilities. I think Catanzaro stood out the most here.
Yeah,
she is a female Ricochet,
and I mean, we have seen her a few times in various matches over time.
Yeah,
I think she was in the Women's Rumble at one point.
She was. She did the Kofi Kingston thing.
Yeah. So I think we always knew she had something about her, but it's nice to see her actually getting time on TV now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. This followed up. Carter and Catanzaro won, and a little bit after there was a backstage interview. Well, not really an interview. Someone went up to ask him a question, and then Mandy Rose came up and was like, "Hey, you're shit. Come with me, and you won't be shit anymore." So I'm quite interested to see how that works. I'm curious. I was never really a big fan of Mandy Rose. I loved obviously the storyline with her and Otis. Thank you. Dozovich is what I was thinking of, because that was his name.
Yeah.
But since then, she just kind of been lost, and I think she could do something interesting here. Again, a good match. I do hope it leads to more, but who knows? Who knows where it's going to go? The next match I did switch off of because it wasn't a squash match. It was better than a squash match. It was a good match between Valentina Ferros and Kaylee Ray.
Yeah.
But it was pretty obvious which way this was going.
Well, this was kind of the similar thing for me. I totally switched off in this match. Like, I was watching it. It wasn't switching off in the sense of not watching it.
Yeah.
But I switched off in the sense of I knew exactly where this match was going. So it didn't really matter what happened in the match, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think this match did anything for anyone, really. I feel like the appearance at TakeOver did more.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And I feel like people know who she is enough, given the reaction she got and given the hype around her and given the attention that she's been put under and the promos, the promo packages and stuff like that. I think she could have just done with a match against someone.
Yes. Yeah.
No, nothing against Ferros, because she looked good. I liked her outfit. Her attire was cool with all the The Brazilian flair was awesome. But both could have done with more.
Yeah,
both
for sure.
With more. Also, before we get to it, where's the women's breakout tournament?
Yeah, good point.
And I want tag team breakout tournament as well. I love the Dusty Rhodes Classic, but I think they should make it with underutilized teams and new teams.
I agree. That would be really cool.
Teams that are already there. Next up, let me just have a really quick check, just make sure we didn't miss anything, because it only does it by match. You got to read to actually find out the bits that I might have missed. No, cool. Samoa Joe takes to the ring, the new NXT champion, and he basically
this was a nice little segment.
This segment did a lot.
Yeah,
this did a lot to build for the next while. I guess I don't know how long this is going to last, but
They built a line of contenders, right?
They did way more than that. They did way more than that. So Samoa Joe comes out, does his thing. It's Samoa Joe. He's dope. We know this. And he basically he drew a line in the sand. He was like, "Want some? Come get it," sort of thing.
First out,
Pete Dunne, baby. Pete Dunne.
I'd take that match all day. I'll be honest.
Hell yeah. I would imagine he's the contender. I would imagine he's the first contender. Yeah. LA Knight came out and interrupted him. He was fantastic. He tried to get in the ring, and Pete Dunne was like, "You take one more step, I'm going to break every single one of your fingers." And Knight was just like, "All right, big dude, calm down." LA Knight was fantastic here. So that plants a bit of a seed there that there might be something going on. There might be a feud in the future there.
Yeah.
Kyle O'Reilly limps out, selling obviously his rib injury.
Yeah.
And he just mocks everybody. Better than the last time he did it, because the last
I was
time
he did
atrocious.
This one actually felt like it was decent. This one actually felt like it worked.
I did not like the kissing Joe's ass bit. I didn't.
No,
like
I
that.
didn't.
I don't feel like it worked. Yeah, I really respect you, Joe, and blah 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 blah. When
he probably does. But
he absolutely does. But I think there's a better way of doing it. I think just coming out and having him, who's meant to be a badass, just kissing Joe's ass,
for sure,
didn't really work for me.
But obviously something happened to Kyle O'Reilly.
I'm getting there. He called Pete Dunne Pete Dunne, which made me giggle. He called LA Knight La Knight, which made me giggle a little bit less.
And he said about the Stone Cold jacket.
Said about the Stone Cold jacket, which I thought was a bit shit, to be honest. I wasn't a big fan of that. It was kind of diminishing returns until Ridge Holland comes out and just beats the shit out of Kyle. Well, I say beats the shit out of Kyle, right? He kind of just hit him once or twice and he was done because of his rib.
That felt like he beat the shit out of him, though. Like one or two hits from Ridge Holland.
Dude is like a truck. And then, so while Samoa Joe's watching that, enjoying that, Pete Dunne's behind him. He knows he's behind him. He turns. He's like, "Yeah, try it, big boy." And then behind Pete Dunne is Tommaso Ciampa to come and beat the shit out of him. They have a little scuffle, and then Ridge Holland takes his leg, gives him a big old headbutt, and then LA Knight tries it, and then Samoa Joe just turns around, catches him. Catches him, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And just kicks him out of the ring.
They definitely set up a lot here because they set up different storylines, but they also set up this interconnected web almost, which we don't often see in wrestling anymore.
No, I really hope they get to do whatever this is to fruition, because I want to see Joe versus Pete Dunne.
I want to see all these matches. Let's be clear.
Exactly. Also, I need a name for Pete Dunne's faction, because we're not just going to call it Pete Dunne and someone else and someone else. We need a name. They were going as the Brand when Pat McAfee was running it, but I want to know what that name is, because it feels like they're going to be very important. It feels like it could be a case where they hold all the gold again.
Yes, for sure.
But yeah, this set up a lot later on. There was that promo that I spoke about where we had Birch and Oney Lorcan saying that they never lost the tag titles, so really they're the tag champions, so they're planting that seed. Holland promised to put Ciampa in the hospital just like he did with Thatcher, and Pete Dunne has promised to defeat Joe, so it seems like we have that story there. Kyle O'Reilly, he got interviewed backstage, and then he got attacked by, I forgot his name, big Australian guy. He was in the Breakout tournament. Duke Hudson.
That's it. Yeah.
I had to think Cars. It's pretty much the same name. I'm gonna call him Hornet from now on. If Cultaholic can call LA Knight The Rock, I'm calling Duke Hudson the Hornet from now on. This angle did loads. It wasn't one of those, "Oh, I want a shot." No, you didn't have a shot. I'm gonna have it. It had layers. It set up so much, and it continued to through the night, which we will get to, I believe. If not, I will.
This actually made it feel like there is some long-term booking going on, which is something we don't see a lot of.
I can't see it. I'm just checking to see where the next. Because there's another bit backstage between Gargano and Regal.
Oh, right.
But
Okay.
it's not, I can't see it here. So essentially, there's another bit backstage where Gargano and Regal are being incredible. And then LA Knight comes in and he's moaning about what just happened. And then they kind of start arguing because he's trying to be Regal's best friend. He's trying to kick him out. And then Gargano gets kicked out as well, setting up a match between LA Knight and Gargano,
Yeah.
which means Gargano is turning face,
Yeah,
which we
for
all
sure.
want. Gargano he's up there with Sami Zayn and Mick
He's
Foley.
the premium face, right? He just does it well. He just does it so well without even trying.
There have been enjoyable bits of this heel run. I think he's done good things for his character.
Yeah.
But faces.
It adds those onion layers, as Shrek would say.
It adds the onion layers, I guess. Sure. Next match of the night, easily, we had Odyssey Jones versus Carmelo Hayes in the finals of the NXT Breakout
I'm glad
tournament.
you said this was match of the night because it was the last match that I saw. So after this, I didn't see anything else. But yeah, this match was great.
2 more matches after that. This match was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely phenomenal.
100%.
These two are going to be absolute stars. I feel like Hayes is going to go after the North American title.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Because I feel like the NXT title is tied up.
Yeah, that's true.
The $1 million title is dead now, seemingly, because there was a bit, I don't know where in the show it was, but there's a bit with Cameron Grimes seeing Ted DiBiase to his limo. He hands the title back over, and I was like, why?
Yeah, it's almost like, what was the point of this whole story then?
But then it gets worse because DiBiase then hands him back a fake $1 million title, trying to pretend it's real, and then and drives off. Absolutely the worst those two have ever been. Everything else has been super entertaining. This was just awkward and terrible, honestly. But the finals between Hayes and Jones, oh boy, they worked so well together.
Both of these guys, right, are just
both got incredible charisma. Honestly, I always feel like whoever the runner-up is, I couldn't tell you who the runner-up was last time, but I feel like Odyssey Jones is the guy going forward.
Yeah.
I feel like he is going to be
huge.
I
feel like it always makes sense to do it that way, though, because the person that you maybe is not that you don't believe in them, but the person that you think needs that little bit of extra help to kind of start them off, having them win the tournament is helpful, right?
Yeah. So 2019 was Jordan Miles, who didn't stick around for long because of WWE being stupid.
Yeah.
Making that terrible shirt, the dumbasses. Who was... No, that's still the same one. NXT Breakout Tournament, that's the current one.
Maybe they didn't do one last year.
There definitely was. Oh no, you're right. Maybe they didn't, because Bronson Reed, I remember. Yeah, maybe they didn't do one last year. Oh well, they didn't do one last year. The last winner was Jordan Miles. The runner-up was Cameron Grimes, and look at him now. He's got a regular spot on the show and an interesting story, and it honestly a great character. I love his character
for sure.
But yeah, this match, I was expecting it to be good because I'd seen them individually, but they clicked so well, and it reached beyond what I was personally expecting. This should have been on TakeOver.
I was gonna say it's weird because it felt like they were perfectly at home and that they'd been doing this for weeks and weeks and weeks, and it had been some sort of long rivalry. This felt like a real blow-off match to something big because it was that good.
Yeah, absolutely. It felt like it could have been a title match in and of itself, and I honestly wouldn't be surprised if it is at some point.
For sure.
They were just fantastic. They played off each other well. It was a smart match. I love this match. It was great. This is one that I would probably revisit at some point. He obviously had an interview straight after Haynes, who beat Jones. He said he was the final boss last week, and he was. I think I honestly think it was a bit too obvious that he was probably going to win. Just because little guy versus big guy, it felt too obvious that
and
big
also
guy was going to win.
but is that partly, so I'll ask you this, is that partly just because we are informed fans, right? Because we are smarter fans?
Maybe, but I feel like it is just one of those tales that just gets told over and over again. It's
That's
the big
true.
guy loses to the small guy.
That's
and
true.
Especially given how just incredible Jones is.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Everybody
knows, if you watch this match, even if you haven't seen either of these two before, I feel like everyone will know that Jones doesn't need to win to get somewhere.
Yeah, I would. Part of me would be surprised if he's even in NXT for that long.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if he's just there to brush up his camera work and mic stuff. But he seems great already at all of it. So who knows?
Credit to both of these guys, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Because, it's tough to come into somewhere when very few people actually know who you are. They may have heard of you and they may have seen little clips, but they don't really know you.
Yeah. And this tournament's great for that. I love it for this. I love it for that exact reason. I do have a maybe it's slightly fantasy booking, but while he was at the top of the ramp, he didn't say which title he was going to go after. I did wonder if he was going to say that he wants to team with Odyssey.
I would love that,
because they would be sick together.
I would love that
because they are both so athletic. They are so, I want to say unique, but then Keith Lee is on the main roster and he's similar. But it's weird because it's almost like Jones is an evolution. Of Keith Lee. He seems that bit quicker. He's bigger. He seems that little bit more athletic.
Every time you say evolution, it just puts the evolution theme song in my head. Sorry. I've now got that in my head, so thank you for that.
There could be a worse. It could put the movie Evolution in your head, which was
good lord.
But yeah, this was a fantastic match. They shook hands afterwards. There was a lot of respect shown because they're both faces.
I feel like they're not. I feel like they're not both faces for very long though, but I don't know which one will end up being heel.
Oh, I feel like Hayes would be heel. I think either could do it, but I feel like Hayes is the more obvious because he was the one in the match that you give her a handshake and then you put him in a headlock. He went straight after,
True.
I feel like Hayes could do that arrogant heel
from here on out though, Luke, with this episode of NXT, you're kind of on your own because I haven't seen the rest of this episode. So what did we get?
Well, the next match, you didn't miss a lot because this confused me, honestly. We had Boa come out and he was going to have a match with some dude that was already out in the ring. So you'd expect Boa is just going to beat the shit out of this guy.
Yeah.
Nope, he lost.
Okay. What?
So he was quite firmly in control of this match against a guy named Zion Quinn. XYON Quinn.
Do we know who this guy is? Is there any sort of
No. He was kicking the shit out of him. However, Mei Ying did a thing. She went like that, and Boa was like, "Yeah, got you." And then he got hit with like a running forearm.
How weird. What?
Like just a running diving forearm, just like you see in pretty much any cruiserweight match.
So what is the point of this?
I don't know. We haven't seen Xia Li in a while since she lost.
Yeah, true.
I don't know because it kind of. I've been saying it on the last few episodes and maybe even before that. I feel like WWE have got this weird thing at the minute where they've got a lot of mixed tag opportunities.
Yeah.
Take advantage of that. But I don't know what's going on with this. One of the commentators said that something about consequences if they don't, do what she wants them to do, sort of thing. So I'd imagine he might get killed or something, or whatever happened to Xia Li. I don't know. This was honestly confusing, to be honest. In fairness as well, Zion Quinn looks like a creator wrestler.
Oh, okay. I'll
He
have
is-
to see. I'll have
he-
to see this later
He
on.
looks insane. He looks insane. He apparently he's half Samoan.
Okay.
And he looks the part. He looks the part. And then finally we had well, not finally, we had Malcolm Bivens talking about Roderick Strong. And
Oh
saying,
wow. Okay.
yeah, right. He
So
looks like
so Zion Quinn. Here's an interesting one for you.
Mm.
He's a former professional rugby league player.
oh,
And he signed to NXT. He's 31 years old. So it sounds like
I
maybe
don't want
this
people
was
over 30.
maybe this was just his kind of debut thing where they went, let's give him a little win to introduce him. I don't know whether this is the first time we've seen him.
It's the first time I've seen him for sure. He looks cool. He looks like a
interesting.
monster.
So he teamed with on July 16th in his first appearance.
Mhm.
He teamed, well, not on TV, but in his first appearance for the company in a match. It looks like, oh no, I lie. So he had a dark match against Sheamus that he lost on April 24th. And then on July 16th, he had another dark match teaming with Odyssey Jones in a losing effort against Austin Theory and Davey Boy Smith Jr.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of reports about that match because of Davey Boy Smith.
And that was a dark match there.
Yeah.
And that was in March.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, so basically he's had a couple of dark matches over the last few months, but this win that he had on NXT is his first TV appearance.
Yeah.
So that might make a little bit more sense, because if he's someone that they want to build, sometimes a shock win like this can start that process.
Yeah, but looking at him, the sort of shock win you'd want him to do is that he kicks the soul out of someone.
Yeah, I know what you mean. When I was just looking at him,
he looks incredible. He looks like the sort of wrestler I built when I was like 10, 12.
Yeah.
Like, he looks insane. Hopefully something comes out of him, because like
for
I said,
sure,
he looks the part at the very least.
For sure. So what else did we get?
We got a little cutaway thing with Malcolm Bivens talking up Roderick Strong.
Love this guy.
Who's training in the background, and there will be another open challenge next week to keep Roderick Strong, I guess, for the Cruiserweight title match whenever that's going to happen. And then we had the 6-man tag match.
Yeah, this one I actually want to watch, so tell me it was at least decent.
I mean, it's Hit Row and Legado del Fantasma, and they're both great. This was, again, NXT's got this running theme at the minute where everything accomplishes something. Yeah. Even if it's bad in some way or it's just not as good,
it still does
it's
something,
accomplishing,
right?
Yeah. So this showed off everyone, every single person. It showed off what they could do, and it showed how good they are. In particular, Top Dollar, because boy did he look good in this match. He stole this, absolutely stole this. And yeah, I do highly recommend watching this, even if it's just for his performance. He was fantastic. Again, put TakeOver in Vegas, give it another hour, put this match on there.
Yeah,
because boy, it was a good one. And again, I really think one of these two is going to end up with that the North American title and the tag titles.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But the match ended in a fun way. So I forget her name, but
I know who you mean.
The lady with Hit Row, BFAB attacked Escobar. However, someone else came out to even the odds. I don't know who this person is, but she's called Elektra Lopez.
Okay.
And she full on fucking lead pipe to the gut of BFAB.
Gee.
properly hit her. Even the odds, which distracted Swerve, because she then threw the lead pipe at him. He caught it and there was a bit of a thing with the referee being like, you better fucking get rid of that. And as they're getting rid of it, Escobar rolls up and Escobar gets the win.
Okay.
This isn't done. This isn't done.
No.
This was awesome. Because the match didn't start. They just started kicking the shit out of each other, and it didn't properly start until I think it was Escobar and Top Dollar in the ring.
And it sounds
great.
It sounds like it also accomplished this thing of lengthening the feud in a way that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's even now. And again, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. This is another mixed tag opportunity.
Yeah.
Another one. Like, come on, there must be mixed tag coming.
Yeah.
Surely, maybe. That would be cool because it'll be something different. It will be something different. And then you can have your own set of rules specifically for that and do interesting things for it. Don't do an elimination tag match though, because that doesn't make sense. Because if one person eliminates the other, that means both get eliminated under WWE's rules because men can't fight women.
Yeah.
So both women would be effectively out of the match. On the whole, though, another solid NXT. The only real downside was the Boa match because Boa's looked awesome. And then all of a sudden he just loses to random awesome looking guy.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very strong coming out of TakeOver. They set up a lot. It set up stuff with Thatcher, Ciampa, and
this is the kind of episode that you want after a pay-per-view, right?
Yes.
Where they actually achieve something with everything they do.
Yeah, even though two of these matches I think should have been on TakeOver, they were fantastic matches. Can't complain about fantastic matches on free TV.
For sure.
Yeah, everything seemed to accomplish something, whether it be setting up stories, highlighting awesome people like Katie Catanzaro, Carmella Jones. I've used both of them then. Hayes and Odyssey. This was solid. This was very, very solid. Even though it was dumb and didn't make sense, I'm still kind of curious what's going on with Boa or whatever.
Yeah.
Because he was a completely uninteresting character, and he and Xia Li came back as killers, and now they're both seemingly gone. I don't know. I'm curious what Cameron Grimes is going to do next.
Yeah,
because he gave up.
Well, let's be honest,
which is disappointing. I wanted that to stick around.
Let's be honest, we're all curious what's going to happen with NXT next. I feel like we know changes are coming very soon.
So yeah, I think the 3 weeks of pre-tape is because after that is when the big changes are happening, and they need to pre-tape these three.
I highly recommend the Nick Khan interview with Ariel Helwani for BT Sport, because that is actually quite an enlightening interview, and it gives a little bit of insight into why Nick Khan looks at certain things the way he does and why certain decisions are made. And actually, when he explains them, they all make a ton of sense. So I do recommend that interview. And one thing he does say in there is there are going to be changes on NXT. It's going to have a new look, a new feel. He said the production is going to be different. And he said those changes are going to happen within the next couple of weeks. And I believe that interview is one that he did at the end of last week. So realistically, by the middle of September, we're probably seeing a very different NXT.
Yeah, it'll be in about probably 2 weeks now, because they taped. Well, they're taping 3, so we've got 2 more tapes to go. Yeah. I would imagine, like I said, those tapes are so they could do that in a short amount of time, and then give them more time to sort out all the production and stuff like that, ready for that 3rd or 4th week. I'm very curious to see what it is. I'm very
curious because I also, as I've said several times on the show before, I'm not convinced that these changes are going to be as negative as people think they are.
I think it's going to be a soft reboot. I don't think they're going to hard reboot. They're not taking the titles off of anybody, hopefully. They're not getting rid of, they've just set up loads of stuff in this one episode. They've set up more from Hit Row and Delphi.
And we may see bigger changes over time, but at least in the medium term, I don't think the show is going to be vastly different in terms of storylines and stuff.
We haven't had a proper shakeup since the Undisputed Era debuted.
Yeah, for
really,
sure.
that felt like the first proper shakeup, because not long after that, Aleister Black left, Andrade left, Drew McIntyre left, all that sort of ilk of person, tag teams and stuff like that moved on.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we slowly just built and built and built. And granted, some of that is because they went to 2 hours and went to TV, which I still think they shouldn't have done. 1 hour is enough for NXT. They absolutely nailed it in that time. But they've just built and built. And we've seen people like Finn Balor come and go and odd bits and pieces like that. Yeah. But we have been due a shakeup. So we definitely need a shakeup. I don't think it's anywhere near as harsh as Vince put it.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because I'm not honestly sure how much say he has. I think, it's made clear that he has final say.
Yeah,
but how
he
much
doesn't
of that
necessarily decide
actually,
every single thing.
Yeah, how much of that final say actually has to be run up to him? I don't know.
And also the other thing is Nick Khan himself has said that Triple H is still in charge.
Yeah, Triple H,
and it is
HBK, all of them. They're all still going to be there from the sounds of it. It's all going to be his team. It's his baby.
It sounds like they just want him to go back to what NXT was meant to be rather than what it's become. And that's not necessarily a bad thing.
I mean, it sounds like essentially they wanted to go back to what NXT was before they started messing with it.
Yeah.
Really?
Basically.
They just want a couple of more people come through their ranks that are their guys.
Yeah, and I don't see that as a negative thing.
Nor do I, because there's only so long you can rely on indies, and you need to have a mix. Otherwise, you are going to be spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
On people who have ties somewhere else.
And also, let's be real, sometimes, this is no disrespect to anybody on the indies or any wrestler out there, but sometimes the wrestlers they build themselves are better. Look
at Batista, Lesnar, Cena. Seth Rollins to a degree, I guess. I think that's what they want to go back to, is picking up indie guys before they are super well known. They're still going to have super well known indie guys come in. I think you're just going to see less of it. They want more people they can build themselves, because then they're more loyal to WWE, and you don't end up with the Adam Cole situation.
For sure.
Until obviously you piss them off, and then they inevitably leave anyway.
100%. But yeah, again, my recommendation for the week, if you want to view something that is about wrestling but not wrestling itself, the Nick Khan interview for BT Sport. I think it was about half an hour. And it's definitely worth listening to, because it actually gave me a little bit of a different opinion of Nick Khan, given some of the things that he said.
Oh my God. I've realized I missed a bit, but it was so forgettable that I forgot it. Frankie Monet decided to interrupt Raquel Gonzalez.
Oh, okay.
That was it. I really don't care. I don't quite get the appeal of her. She just annoys me at the moment.
Yeah, for sure.
But
for sure.
Hey ho.
Well, with all that being said, let us know what you thought of NXT this week. And if you're in for more of our opinions on wrestling and our hypothetical conversations at times, which we love to have, why don't you subscribe to the channel? Ring that notification bell, all that good stuff, just to keep up to date with everything we've got going, because we will be doing this every week. And I know that if you're an original follower of this channel, we went quiet for a while, but we are now back, and I think we've figured out what we want this channel to be. So I think we're in it for the longer term this time, and we'll see how it goes.
Another. Yeah, we may change things up depending on schedules and stuff like that, but because that's one point actually to make to people, because the next episode it will definitely be AEW Power Hour, but it might be on Monday instead of Wednesday. We're thinking Monday.
But you'll definitely get, all you need to basically know is you will get at least 2 videos every week, one AEW Power Hour, one NXT Power Hour. When they will be released isn't absolutely set, because it does depend on our schedules to some degree. But AEW will always be released by Wednesday, and we'll always review the kind of previous 2 episodes, and then NXT, in theory, will always be out well before the next episode of NXT.
Yeah.
So just, keep subscribed and keep that notification bell on, and you'll always know what's coming up. And let us know what you thought of NXT this week, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.